Hey everybody, and welcome to another Project Zomboid Mapping 101. Now this video is going to be a little bit different, as we're just going to be talking about raving roofs today. Usually we work on our map and add something new, but in this video I'm just going to quickly cover types of roofs that you may want to try out instead of this boring generic one. That is the easiest, but also the most boring to look at one. Jesus, my wording and talking is off today. My head is not in the game. Right, so first off, we'll cover how to make this one. You probably watched my previous video, so that one shouldn't be too hard. Then we'll move up the line of buildings as we go on. This one is literally just a peak. I always forget if it's vertical or horizontal. There we go, a peak. And then add another layer, just add a tiny peak on top. Now, depending on the roof cap that you have selected, there may be a hole inside of the peak. You want to click on roof caps or double click it, and you get this overview. And as you can see, there is an entry that is red, meaning there's nothing there, or more pinkish, I guess. But you get my point. You want to add the tall wall version like this, or the white version here like that, in there, and then the roof peak will know what to do with it. Plan B is to actually go into exterior walls and just draw in the roof that is missing, or the wall that is missing, like that. But if you set it up once, it'll help you out forever, and you know, it saves you time in the long run. In this case, I'm just going to change it back to the white one I had, where there's no issues. Now for the second roof, which is basically just a peak with two dormers, but that already sells the building a lot more. And I hope it's east. Go. It's not that much more work than this. I could debate that it's even the same amount of work, but it just adds a way nicer feeling than just having this ginormous tower of a roof on your building. And it's just, you know, I think it's about the same amount of clicks to set it up. This one is one of my personal favorites. I use it a lot in my builds. I love the shallow slopes, but you need to cover up the holes, of course, with something else. And I love to have like a wavy effect between the shallow slope and then the regular slope. And with these tiles, they line up nicely, so it doesn't look that odd. Add the east one on the other side, like that, and then to finish that off, I'm gonna add a little bit of a dormer to make it a little bit more interesting. Now you could set it up like this, not overlap, but that looks a little bit weird. I'm gonna have it overlap the other piece and make it feel like you know, wholesome roof that's actually working. Of course, you need to go to roof and accents to cover up this side with the roof caps. Better extend it to have it fit the entire roof. Very easy, very straightforward. It's a nice and quick build. Now this one is a little bit trickier because it doesn't look that interesting, but there is a little bit of magic behind it. And first of all, you want to take your slopes and you want to keep the same amount open in the corners as you're going deep. So I'm going to go one deep. I want to keep one square open in the corners. I'm going to do this for all four sides. There we go. Now, in addition to that, you want to get your second tab, third tab. Take the outer sides and then go like that and fill in the corners. These pieces fill in the corners very nicely. Here you can hear the kid screaming outside. I guess he's, you know, not doing too well. Oh, up there. Oh, no. I really messed that up. Alright, just go back. Take the PO. No, I already got that. Northwest is there. Don't forget to fill the hole that you don't even gonna see. Otherwise, rain is gonna fall through and you're gonna have a leaking roof. Now that looks pretty good. And then you could do just a flat top with the same roof type in there. I guess that is this one. Yep. Drag that out. But then you can see that there is an issue, and we could turn off the roof caps there, but that's not the cleanest way to fix this. The best way to fix this is go into tile mode, search for the roof that you're working with. Now I'm using this black tile roof. scroll down a bit, and there's more tiles to it. And then you have these tiles which are a little bit raised. I'm going to use the roof 2 layer and just draw these out on top of it. And that fixes the roof for you. Now this should look good in game and looks very nice. The last roof for this tile set is this one, which is quite intricate and uses quite a bit of magic. And I actually did some stuff that's not really necessary, but you could, you know, add it in. Go back to isometric mode, and we're gonna do 2 peaks first. So vertical, it's 3. Did I do 3? 4. Try to make it the exact same. Go somewhere there. Then horizontal, we do the same thing. Now we have a gap there. There, we're gonna go to, I think it is southeast. No, it's the other way. I always forget which one is which. Cover that up. Now there's no piece to the other side, and it's hard to cover up, so to kind of cheat, I am just gonna lay down a flat top over the entire thing, which is a nice cheat you can do in general, just to have a flat roof underneath your decorative roof. That just makes sure there's no gaps and it's not gonna, you know, cause any issues in game. But as you can see, I have a little bit of a raised wall area here, in contrast to it being on the same level. And there's a limited amount of walls that you can do this with, because it's a nice little trick. But I'm using a half wall to kind of create the illusion that the roof's a little bit higher. Of course, in game you're never going to notice, because you're not going to be on the roof, in most cases. But for now, I think it is a nice little trick. I'm going to put this in wall overlay, and just draw this out here. And then take the little corner piece. And like we did with the last roof, I can actually select that color, draw that out on the roof too, and then put that up there, and that fixes that issue. Now this does create a little bit of a gap, as you can see right here, but that's not really an issue that you're gonna notice in game, so I wouldn't worry about it. But if you really want to cover it up, you can use like a trailer piece, this one, floor overlay and draw mode. And you can, oh wait, yeah, you can draw it over that, and it kind of covers up the gap there. But I really wouldn't worry too much about it. So these are a couple simple roof styles. We'll do a couple more. Now for the other roof examples, we have some flat roofs. Now we have drawn out a simple flat roof before. That's not the most interesting one. The second option, of course, is to add some grime. Already helps it a lot. There is a cat on my lap, which is, you know, great if you are trying to do a YouTube video. But oh well, if you hear her, don't mind it. Hope it doesn't bother you too much. So grime on the roof helps a lot, but still you can do a lot more cool stuff. The first one is add some curbs, like street curbs. There's actually 2 options. You can do the outside on the outside, or you can do the outside on the inside. And I'm quickly gonna draw out both for you. And as I don't want to do this 10 times, I'm gonna do this real quick. So there we go. So for the floor grime, I'm just gonna copy the previous one over a couple times so we can skip that part. And there we go. So for the curbs, I'm gonna go to street curbs, and I have a bunch more for the bended stuff, but we're just gonna use the basic stuff. Deselect that real quick because it bothers me. Now you could put this on the floor overlay layer, but then the grime is gonna affect the curb as well, and it doesn't look as nice. Basically, I suggest putting it on any other layer above the grime. Roof caps, walls, furniture, it really doesn't matter that much. Let's go for roof cap real quick. And we're just gonna draw out a basic rectangle or square. I think it's a square building. So, and that really is it. It's very simple, and it makes it look a lot better. Now we we can do the same thing the other way around, so then we have the higher edges on the outside. And it is also a very quick build. So there is really no excuse on why not to do this, because it doesn't cost that much time, and that's it. That's it, you know, it takes a minute on a square building, and it really helps bring it to life a lot better. You can do the same thing with the park stuff. So in parks, or in the community park sheet, there is a tile for the edge of a playground, and you can use that one and do the same thing. And that also makes it look really cool. I've never used the wooden one on a roof, but I think it will look just fine if you want to make like a shed type thing or something. You know, try it out real quick. I think that works great as well. And then the last one is a border on the edge. Now, if you have a roof up to the stairs, this makes more sense, but in this case, I'm just here to demonstrate it. In isometric mode, in exterior walls, I have added a tile here. You can do that just like you did the roof caps. You can double click it, go to your exterior walls, and just scroll down here, add a new entry, and then look for the tile. So let's say this one's missing, I can get that one. Hit plus, gives me new options, and if I look for, I think it's in railings. In railings, I can just drag these in here. Save that out. In this case, I'm going to delete it because I already have it. And then it should be here, and you can drag that out, and you have a nice railing which you can easily place down. Now, on the front side, in this case, I added a trim for the commercial option. Again, if this is not here, you can double click it and add it on the side. And that makes the wall for the outside look a little bit taller and nicer. Now, there's no excuse to make shitty roofs in this game, because it's not that hard. It's just kind of knowing what you're doing. So I suggest really playing around with it a little bit, and then you can make way cooler stuff. Now, as always, shout out to my patrons on Patreon. Thank you very much. If you like these videos, consider liking and subscribing, and I hope you have a very, very nice day.